Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys your weekly forecast for your divine masculine and your soul connection. So I do tend to channel from the divine feminine's perspective, as well as those that are experiencing either a challenge or separation in your connection. So please keep that in mind. And obviously just take what resonates for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. Half of the reading will be available here on my Mystic Moon channel, and the other half will be available by the bonus extended version that I will put the link to be able to access that down below if you guys are interested. So all the decks I'll be using here will be listed down below, as well as these beautiful organites that you see here. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and take a look and see what is the main theme for growth and development of your connection this week. Let's look at that. So we're going to actually start off with this deck called the Astrology Oracle, and it's comprised of 3 different sections. So we've got the houses, then we have the planet, and then the zodiac sign. So let's just see what house is ruling your connection this week. Let's look at this energy. What house is ruling the connection for the viewers this week when it comes to their divine masculine and their connection? What house wants to come through? Okay, so we have the 4th house, you guys. So that 4th house is about family and home. It's actually ruled by the sign of Cancer. So this card says your home and the roots of your being. Okay, so I'm just going to read this little paragraph here. It says, the 4th house focuses on family histories, traditions, and ancestry. In other words, it tells us about home, or the place in which one's domestic affairs are centered. This house sits at the bottom of the astrological wheel and is thought of by many astrologers as being foundational to a person's self, life, and beliefs. You might look to this house for insight on how you relate to your parents or your own children, or how you nurture yourself and others. So to me, this is, of course, like that hermit, right? The crab being in its shell, how we feel safe, what makes us feel safe, what makes us feel secure, etc. So that right there is a theme this week. There could be some things that are coming up that are shaking a foundation, things that need to be let go this week, etc. So let's go ahead and get a couple of tarot cards on this one. This is called the Syrian Starseed Tarot. So there's an opportunity for us to grow and develop, kind of figure out what's important to us, what we might need to let go of, maybe even faulty foundations, etc. So let's see what we need to know here. We have the Seeker of Orbs. So I believe that the Seeker of Orbs, you guys, is the Knight of Swords. That Knight of Swords, wait, hold on for a second. Let me just double check. Actually, no, it's the Page of Swords. I don't need to check. I think the Adept is the Knight in this deck. Yeah, the Seeker is the Page here. Page of Swords, interesting. So the Page of Swords is a thinker. The Page of Swords is somebody who's really thinking and analyzing a lot around them. Obviously, you can see this picture. She's looking at this orb, and she's, you know, just kind of looking at all aspects of it. What is this? How does it make this person feel? What do they see, etc. So I really kind of like this whole green energy, okay? So there's green energy as well as this blue energy to me. It's about the heart and the home. It's about the heart and communicating what is important to us. So I feel like you guys this week, as far as the connection and both of you are concerned, you guys are really thinking about what's important to you. You're thinking about what you want, where you came from, where you're going next, just what's important to you, basically. So that seems to be something that we are thinking about. Now, there could be something about someone's childhood, you know, really analyzing, like, how has that affected us? How has that made us feel? How has this impacted us as adults? So there could be some reflecting going on this week. We do have the full moon in Scorpio coming up on the 5th here. And so there could be some like death and transformation, not physical, but more of like this internal death and transformation. We're letting things go. Maybe we're forgiving some sort of you know, things that are deep, like rooted deeply within us, forgiving people, releasing rage, releasing hurt, traumas, things like that. So a lot of things could be happening this week. We're thinking a lot about where we came from. We're thinking a lot maybe about what we want and what makes us feel safe in this life. Interesting. So huge energy here. So let's now take a look and see what planet is ruling. Okay. So what planet? So Cancer is connected to the moon. That's the ruling energy, moon. So I do feel like the moon will play a significant role with how we feel this week. So I just feel like both people might be going through some sort of internal transformation. There could be some, shadow work involved in that, or it could just be that we are letting something go that maybe we always thought that we needed to feel safe. If there is third party for some of you guys, I almost feel like some of you, whether it's on your end or your masculine's end or both, you guys are considering what's important. Do you stay in the situation that you're in, or do you take a risk and do you end that situation because it's just no longer serving you and move towards, being with your counterpart? So I feel like that will be something that's not up in the air, but something that you guys will both be heavily thinking about this week. So let's take a look at the planet energy. What's the planet energy? So we already have the moon coming through, but what's the planet energy? We have Neptune. So Neptune is connected to the sign of Pisces. And Pisces is kind of dreamy moon energy too. It says your fantasies, your yearnings, your longings, and potential for illusion. So Neptune is a beautiful energy. It's like, oh my gosh, it's what you want to connect with when you're an artist or you're trying to create something, right? It's beautiful energies there. But sometimes we can get lost with fantasy versus reality, nonfiction, like fiction versus nonfiction. So to me, there is this need to kind of balance out some 3D energy and 5D energy. Our heads, are they in the clouds with what we are thinking that's going to make us happy? Will it really truly make us happy? If we take this risk, is it going to pay off? I feel like sometimes people do have a tendency to project their happiness onto other people, and sometimes we can do that with our counterpart. We're going to be so much happier with them than we are in our present life. And so when we do that, we're already kind of setting somebody up to fall, because no one is going to, anybody that we put up on a pedestal or anything that we put up on a pedestal is naturally going to, it's going to not be able to live up to unrealistic expectations. So I just kind of feel like we might be balancing out fantasy versus fact this week, and kind of coming not 100% down from the clouds, but kind of trying to find a little balance in that energy, thinking with our heads, but also feeling with our hearts at the same time, and considering that both have something of value to say this week, but not getting completely carried away. Now, I feel like some of you could get carried away in this energy, in the sense of you're getting swept up in dreams. You're having a lot of dreams this week about your counterpart. Your counterpart is having dreams about you. You guys are longing to be together. So that could also be a motivator, though, for change. So again, you see how it doesn't have to be completely a negative. Sometimes this can be a positive. This can be a motivator to do certain things that we wouldn't normally do. So let's go ahead and see what else we need to know here about this Neptune energy, which we have now, the moon. So to me, the moon is basically telling us here that the moon is definitely going to be affecting us big time. First of all, we've got the full moon in Scorpio. Now we have this Pisces energy, very watery, emotional energy. The moon is also connected to the divine feminine. So I feel, divine feminines, that you could be experiencing, a lot of either emotions or just a lot of balancing of your emotions and kind of figuring out what you want, what you don't want. If your needs or desires, are they being met? Is what you want unrealistic? Are we dreaming instead of actually, taking steps in physical world? So I feel like there's something going on here this week. But remember, this does affect the masculine too. So I feel like you guys perhaps might be bringing things down from a fantasy dream and maybe making it or turning it into a reality this week, right? We're turning it into a reality, so that doesn't have to be a negative. But the moon in general, it does bring up illusion. It does. It brings up illusion. It is also connected to Pisces, but also Cancer. So we have both of those signs here. We have Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, actually. All water signs here. And I just feel that we really need to pay attention to our intuition. We need to be able to discern between our higher self and our intuition versus stories that we might be confused by. And so this is the thing. Usually you can tell with true divine guidance. It's not a mystery. It's not a puzzle. It's not something to confuse you. It's very, very clear. Your answers will be crystal clear. The advice that you get from the divine isn't going to tell you to go on a scavenger hunt to figure things out. No, it's going to be pretty clear. And sometimes that clear energy is either in the form of this is a yes, this is a no, or it's a maybe hang out and don't do anything yet. Sometimes not the answers that we want. So sometimes we discount them and then we create more of an illusion and confusion here. So I feel like we might have to just kind of roll with our emotions. We not have to roll and whatever's coming up this week, I feel like we have an opportunity to purge it with that full moon. So full moon ritual, I think, would be really fantastic. And I know I've said this last week, but in my newsletter, if you guys aren't signed up yet, I do have a really very simple yet effective releasing ritual. So if you guys are interested, that link is down below as well. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the zodiac. So even though we have Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio coming up right now, let's see what other zodiac sign. Okay. Now we have Capricorn, which is Earth's energy, but it's also connected to the planet Saturn. Saturn is all about burden and lessons. It can be karma, maybe even karmic cycles. I feel like you guys are letting go of some sort of a karmic cycle or karmic lesson. Some of you could even be letting go of a karmic partner this week. And when I say letting go, you're starting that transition of letting something go that is not serving you. So this goes for, remember, the masculine as well. This masculine could be in a karmic situation or just kind of stuck or hung up on something that is burdening him, that's been burdening him for quite some time. Because of that home energy, I feel like that fourth house, it could be childhood stuff. Really facing something and taking a look and saying, wow, I'm more affected than I even realized. I need to really work on this, or else it's going to cause a lot of problems for me throughout my life. So both feminine and masculine could be affected by this energy, just how much their roots need to be worked on, perhaps. But this does say the energy around you is serious, materialistic, and hardworking. It bestows shrewdness and cautious ambition. So this is also about, getting to a point where, are we just surviving? Are we working to survive, right? Are we working to thrive? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing in the physical world? What is it that we're working towards? What is it that we are placing value on? And there could be a little bit of a toss-up this week of trying to figure out what's important to us and what isn't important to us. The outside, which I feel is Capricorn's energy, it's materialism. It is superficial energy. It's like the outer appearance of things. It looks good, but when it comes down to what's on the inside, is that there or something missing? So we're really diving deep into that this week and figuring out what's real and what's not. What's worth it, what isn't. I feel like there could be somebody in a situation that is literally with a person for financial reasons. And it is scary, of course, to try to figure out how you're going to survive on your own. What's going to happen to you? What are the repercussions financially going to be if we remove ourselves from an unhappy situation? So there's that fear here this week for someone. And I feel like that could also be something that needs to be let go and cycled out, where we need to start taking action steps to separate ourselves from a karmic cycle or person or situation this week. So there's a lot of heavy stuff going on here. Oh my gosh. And just what I was talking about, everything. Scorpio's energy, death. Wow. Like, this is the very last card here with this setup. It's the death card. So it's like laying something to rest and transitioning into a new phase here. So I feel like if a holdup of your connection, you guys, has been someone's addiction, another karmic relationship, or just a trauma. I'm not saying for everybody that it's just going to be magically absolved this week, but I feel like there is an opportunity with this moon in Scorpio, because again, it's coming up here, for us to release this burden, or for us to release ourselves from this burden. Some of you guys could be putting all of your hope and your dreams and all of your, just so much importance on this masculine. And even though we look at these energies every single week just to kind of see where things are at, that doesn't mean that we stop living our lives. We're still working on us. We're still empowering ourselves. We're not sitting around obsessing about, everything that the masculine is doing or not doing. We realize that we have lives to live as well, that we have a job to do, which is taking care of ourselves and showing up in the world. So this could be many, many things to different people. This is a huge collective. So wherever you guys are at on this spectrum with what's come through here today, this is an opportunity to transition out of an old phase that's not working, that's actually holding people back and burdening them, versus letting that go and transitioning into, like you can see, it's an ascending to the next level, okay? And people that are ready to meet you there, which, let's just say it's the masculine. When the masculine is ready to meet you there, he will. But in the meantime, you're not going to continue to stunt your growth on account of someone else, if that's your story. But this could also be just your own story too, feminine. Maybe there are things in your life that you're working on letting go. And this is a part of the process. And this masculine is, almost like an inspiration for you to want to level up and be a better version of you, which is awesome. So that's what we have for the growth and development of the connection this week. That's freaking huge, you guys. Just huge. So now we're going to take a look at the divine masculine's head and heart space with how you guys are both seeing each other this week versus the divine feminine. So we're kind of going to do like a side by side. And so we're going to get an overall energy for the way that the masculine is viewing the feminine this week, and then we're going to go vice versa. So this right here is called the Oracle of Mermaids. What is the overall energy with how the masculine is seeing and feeling towards the feminine this week? Okay, so we have the fertility energy. To me, this is like the Empress. Potential, powerful, creative energy, initiation energy. So you can see here this womb. So I feel like his overall energy towards the feminine this week is that there's potential, there's growth here. We are in Taurus season as well, which is connected to the Empress, divine feminine. We also have the home and feeling safe and feeling secure, feeling nurtured. So he's really feeling this week overall that this feminine maybe is either nurturing herself and taking care of herself, or that there is potential that they can grow once again, that they can do something here. Perhaps if something ends, in someone's life, there's potential for new growth here. Okay, so this is my Depths of the Sea Oracle. Let's see what is going on in the masculine's head space, how he sees the feminine this week. Wow, we have energy exchange. He might want to exchange energies with you, feminine, this week. He might want to come into your physical world. The Empress can be a very sensual physical card. He might dial you up or come into your physical space and want to spend some time with you. It doesn't have to be completely physical, but I feel like there will be an exchange this week for some of you. He's sending you some kind of energy. It could charge you up. You could feel this. You could feel very sensual all of a sudden, I'm getting for some of you, because he's thinking about you this week. That's what I'm getting here. Or because he's thinking about you, he's coming in, he's calling you. All right, so this is called the Light Seers Tarot. The Knight of Swords, interesting. So the Knight of Swords is movement. It's Gemini too. It's also connected to Mercury. Because of Mercury retrograde, I don't know. Maybe this masculine is coming in this week. He's making a move towards you. He's sending a message because he wants to exchange energy. This can just be energetic for some of you guys because it does say energy, but this could be in the physical world I'm seeing here. So he's really thinking about the feminine and how he wants to exchange energy with her. It might even be that he's thinking of her in terms of, I want to build a life with you. That could be it as well. Because remember, the fourth house is all about security and home. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here, is really thinking about how maybe he wants this with the feminine, wants to start going in that direction. So let's see where the feminine is with the masculine. Okay. Overall energy, mentally. Ooh, we have the return of Aphrodite. So what this tells me here, you guys, is that the feminine might be feeling that maybe the masculine is going to return. Maybe it's been a while. Maybe she has gotten signs and messages that he is coming back, that he is being magnetically drawn towards her, because that's what you can see. These two dolphins are coming together and they're playing. It's very happy and joyous energy. So I feel like the feminine, the way she's seeing things this week is that she's seeing things maybe shift and change in a positive way here. And we have past lives, seahorse here. So to me, the past life is like we return. We kind of come back. We come back from where we were. Maybe there has been some sort of karmic lessons or something, karma that needed to be cleared. But now that we have cleared those cycles or done some sort of work, now it's this return of love, Aphrodite, divine feminine, goddess energy here. So I feel like the feminine is really in tune with her emotions, but intuition this week. That already came through with all that moon energy. So there's a lot of stuff that she's feeling, okay? So this is called the Muse Tarot. Let's see what the feminine is feeling, how she's seeing things. I feel like you guys are really in tune with everything that needed to happen here in both of your lives in order for you to kind of clear up some sort of karma so you can get to the next stage. And we have the Eight of Voices. Interesting. The Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is being stuck, but it's self-imposed. We've restricted our own voices. We weren't speaking our truth. We weren't doing things that were in alignment with who we truly were. So we realized that we needed to come to that conclusion on our own. Feminine, if you've been waiting for your masculine to do something, you knew that you couldn't tell him this is what he had to do. He had to come to his own conclusions. So you gave him the opportunity to basically clear up the stuff he needed to clear up. And I feel for you guys too, you've learned that you need to start speaking your truth and being honest with yourself. And that includes being honest with other people, because in the past you have realized that that doesn't work. When you're not authentic and you're not true to yourself, everything falls apart. So I just feel like you guys are kind of coming to a return of yourself. You're feeling good. And so things are starting to lighten up. Things are starting to shift and change in the physical world. You're seeing some sort of shifts here. You're sensing, you're getting these intuitive hits, maybe even dreams this week, that something is shifting and something is clearing and changing. You might even be getting some sort of glimpses of past lives as who you and this masculine were to each other in the past life. And so you realize that that holds some sort of significance on your ascension journey. Very interesting. But you also realize that it's each person has the power to clear it. You know, that's what the Eight of Swords is. It means that we have the power to break out of that cycle. Nobody can do the work for us. We have to do it ourselves. That's pretty significant, you guys. So let's go ahead and see how the masculine is feeling towards the feminine. What's the overall energy that masculine is feeling towards the feminine this week? Ooh, okay. What I'm seeing here is that he sees and feels that the feminine is breaking away from restrictions. He sees her as being free to basically do the things that she wants or needs to do. He sees her being very determined to be independent and to just either do her own thing or just to keep moving forward. So if the masculine is afraid that he'll lose the feminine because he's stuck in a situation or isn't ready, I feel like this could be the kick in the pants that he needs. So he's actually feeling her let go a little bit. He's feeling her move forward. And that might be, I think I said this earlier, that might be the motivating factor. It might be the motivating factor that the masculine needs in order to kind of get rolling. So that's how he's feeling about her this week. He doesn't feel so burdened or restricted by her needs or by her insecurities or traumas, because I feel, feminines, that you guys have worked on a lot of this stuff. And so the energy between the two of you is lighter this week. I love it. And we have intimacy. I really like this because I feel like the feminine has maybe snuggled up to herself. She's learning to romance herself and love herself. This masculine feels it. And this is one of the reasons why he's either wanting to return or he's starting to think in terms of long-term with the feminine. So I feel like maybe for some of you guys, if this fits, maybe you guys were really needy for the masculine, or just like really relaying it on strong, but a lot of you have pulled back. And because you've pulled back this energy, not that it's a game, but you realize that that does not work. The more that you chase something, the less results you're actually going to get. It's going to make things so much worse. But you've pulled back your energy is what I'm seeing here. You focused more on yourself, and this masculine is feeling this shift, you guys. And I feel like he is connecting to it. He's more open and receptive to this energy than he was once before. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, it just confirms it, you guys. The Empress again. So that is Taurus energy. It's also Libra's energy. It's Venus energy. So the return of Aphrodite, Venus. This feminine has returned to herself. That's what I'm seeing here in this reading. She's returned to herself. And because she's returned to herself and she's made an investment within herself, this has now suddenly become very attractive to the masculine. She's learned to love herself. She's spending more time with her. She doesn't need him as much. And again, that does, I feel, trigger the masculine in a way, and it makes him feel a little scared that he could possibly lose her, or that maybe she does have some worth, some self-worth, and he's starting to value her more. So the fact that we have two cards that show this womb, I feel like that means something. Masculine is perhaps really feeling that the feminine is the person that he wants to make that investment in, the person that feels like home to him. Remember this fourth house energy. There it is, child. He might see the feminine as somebody that he wants to grow with, build something with, maybe even have a family with. So he's really feeling this energy this week. And I feel like it is because the feminine has pulled back her energy and decided to invest more in herself. And this is actually paying off. That's what I'm getting here. So congratulations, feminine. He's really feeling your energy this week in a very powerful, positive way. So let's see your energy here when it comes to the masculine with how you feel this week, feminine, towards him. I love it. So this right here is wisdom. It's wisdom through water. So it says seashells, right? But it's like wisdom with the ocean, the connecting with the ocean, which to me is the cycles. The tides go in, the tides go out. So to me, it's like the natural cycles of life. You realize that what goes out must come back and vice versa. So I do feel like a lot of you have let go. I feel like a lot of you are loosening your grip on the need for this masculine to, you know, be everything to you. And this is really, really positive. So you're looking at the wisdom of the connection, as in you're looking at the connection from a higher perspective, and you're taking into consideration the things that you've learned, you know, so you're seeing the value in the connection instead of being upset about it, instead of only focusing on the traumas and the wounds. You're starting to gather up wisdom as to what this all means. And you did have the past lives energies before with the way that you're seeing things. You're seeing how everything had to happen. You're seeing the value in all of it, feminines. I think that's so fantastic. All right, what else are you feeling? Even though things are unclear, it doesn't matter. You realize that that's just a part of life. So we spend a lot of time, you know, as people that, I don't myself, but I know that a lot of people spend time with questions such as if something is going to happen or when it's going to happen. And to me, you know, it's just one of those things where if you can't learn to just allow things to happen, you know, and we're constantly, hey, stop. Sorry, it's one of my cats. He's really, you know what I mean? He's kind of frisky right now, so he's howling. I don't know what that means to you guys, but anyways, I just feel that we realize that there's a time that we don't know things. It's kind of like the moon cycles. There is the dark moon, 3 days each month where it's dark. It's unclear. It's supposed to be. And then there is that waxing moon where we're drawing things to us. And then there's that waning moon where we are letting things go. And then there's the new moon. And then there's the full. There's all kinds of different cycles for a reason. It's a rhythm. And it happens every single month. And so there's a rhythm to life. And so I feel like the feminine is starting to kind of get into the rhythm of the tides and the lunar cycles. And she's realizing that she doesn't need to know everything. Just because she doesn't know exactly what this all means or how she feels or how the masculine feels, it doesn't matter anymore, because what she's doing is she's choosing to tap into the wisdom of everything rather than the ego, which needs to have something right now and needs to know everything, right? We realize that it's really foolish actually to even ask questions about, is this going to happen, or yes or no, because things can shift and change at any time because of free will, you know? So to me, it's better to not know things and just keep moving forward and making decisions based on what you don't know, because that's really where the lessons and wisdom lie, is in the unknown. So, all right, let's go ahead and, oh, this is not the right deck for the feminine. This one is. Let's get the feminine's energy here for how she feels towards the masculine, how she's feeling about the connection. Oh my gosh, we have the 10 of Cups, 10 of emotions. First of all, there's a lot of emotional energy this week for the feminine, but it doesn't have to all be shadow. I do feel like there is going to be a little bit of shadow, but guess what? That's life. Life is dark and light. There's yin, there's yang. There's night, there's, you know, daytime. So it's just, that's life. It's that balance. So I feel feminines with that 10 of Cups. I mean, this is about ultimate happiness. This is about creating your own happiness. You see all these people here, they're connected. It's a tribe. I feel the feminine this week, she knows that the masculine and her came together for a reason, but it doesn't have to be understood completely right this second. She's basically invested in the journey, but she realizes that not all of her happiness is within the masculine. A lot of the happiness that she's actually searching for is within herself. So a lot of things that have been triggered within her because of this connection, or things that she feels like she's lacking, this has really set this journey in motion for her, this connection. And same thing for the masculine. You guys are triggering each other in certain ways in order to discover really important things about yourselves. And that, of course, in the end, is for the ultimate union, 10 of Cups energy, happiness with another. So if you can find that happiness within yourself, this will be mirrored to you in the form, like a physical form, in another person. But both people have to come to that connection with equal cups. Not one that's just willing to give everything to the other person and the other person doesn't really get anything back. It's not that kind of connection. That's codependency. That's toxic. That's no good. So until both people have arrived at that destination where they're both equally ready to give, then there's still work that needs to be done. So I feel like that's where the feminine is at this week. She realizes that she's willing to do the work and make necessary changes within herself to get to this point. But she's headed towards the 10 of Cups, whether it's with the masculine or without the masculine right now. She's okay either way, because she realizes that there's a higher purpose for everything that's happening right now. That's what I'm getting. So anyways, you guys, that's what I have so far on this version. So on the extended version, what we're going to do is we are going to take a look and see how are you both triggering and activating each other at this time. So what are you guys doing for each other in order to get yourselves to this point of the 10 of Cups? We're also going to look at outside influences and third party affecting the connection. We're going to take a look and see what is the divine masculine keeping from the head and the feminine. We're going to get some confessions from his mind, body, and soul. And then we're going to get advice from spirit, just basically what we need to know this week about the connection and everything else. So thank you guys so much for choosing to watch this reading. I will put that link down below for the extended. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed and drop a comment in the comment section and let me know what you guys thought about this week's messages. All right, you guys, thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.